but it didn't work. I had to just start.
Okay.
Embrace it.
So I'm gonna do on Pinterest.
About first.
Really?
I was like, relax, like.
Yeah, so if you guys have a notebook,
Why
then you want that for sure.
So
It's behind you. Oh. I think it's good. Okay.
Stitching, is that what you said? I would have brought you lotion had I known. Put something cold on it.
I'm sure Anna has some
Me too.
So like Neosporin or a night solution?
No, I need to. I don't have my lotion. And I wanna go.
I already done Aquaphor, then at my work. Yeah, the Aquaphor at work and I wear it, and with the kids, like, it stains like my work shirt. I'm like,
I might rub it. I think it's, yeah, you might
I rub it in, but since I'm constantly picking up shades and it rubs, so like it rubs it all off.
That's how it was on my back when I got my back tattoo, and I was just like, oh, my shirt, and I was a server trying not to touch, and I was just like, ah, this is horrible.
Yep.
I knew I got it.
I
didn't scab, and it maybe it was on the side.
My feet
This one just, I just.
Both my feet on and my side. I think wear a bra.
Tonight?
It was middle of summer, it was like 110 degrees, and I was working, and I could wear a bra.
I
I
like
was like, what do I do? My mom's like, put a bathing suit on. I had to wear a bathing suit in Zeus.
I know, he made that.
I couldn't wear it for work all the time. Yeah.
I was working with my mom, but we're sitting this actually.
Oh my god.
So it's all outside, no air conditioning, nothing, and I was like dying.
That's how it was going to the beach, like it was burning, I'm just like, I'm there. And then we went to like, into the ocean, like, oh,
I wore yoga pants for like 2 weeks.
Oh, and
Yeah.
salt, horrible.
You would have seen my foot when I had my foot done. My foot was huge. Like it looked like a loaf of bread that was rising out of the top of my flats.
Were you swelling like halfway through your session?
I was.
He told me, he was like, you have to come back, or else it's gonna mess up.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I sat through my side one. I'm like, no, we're doing it. Get it done.
after
Like
like
4.5 hours.
Oh, after 3, he was like, you can go home. And I was like, ugh.
Why did I stop to eat a sandwich? I'm like, did you not eat a
Wait,
sandwich?
wait,
No, it's fine.
Sorry, I just need to make it like a full screen.
I was in half an hour of mine.
It wasn't happy.
Okay, we're gonna get started here in just a couple minutes, so if you're watching live stream, just hang tight.
Yeah, I want to get
Some
my
people
tattoo that says.
It just says guest speaker, one viewer.
Right.
I know, I don't know if I think it might be,
Because every time I look at
but it's
it, you know,
recording,
like,
so.
yeah, I should have something there, and I don't want to break it very often.
I would say that too, but I'm afraid just being professional setting. Like I'm afraid of what to get.
We're back.
And that's why I want to get I am beautifully and wonderfully made. You know, and that's something that my best friend talks about all the time. That's part of our Saturday morning ritual. It's called Walk by Faith, and we do Christian cardio. So we do Zumba, all to Christian.
Okay. If you guys want to grab a seat, if you're done
It's
eating,
awesome.
we're gonna, she's coming very soon. Coming your way. Okay.
Oh, yeah, got you.
So, before we start, okay. She's having internet issues, but it's okay. She'll be here.
Who's she?
It's a she.
It's a she.
Hello.
Oh, there she is. Hi.
It's Leah.
Okay, so this, for those of you guys who don't know who, my music. Okay. Who don't know who this is our national sales director. Actually, everybody in this room, this is our national sales director. And she's your adopted sales director if you're one of my 18 people. But I want to tell you guys just a little bit about her before she starts because she is going to blow your mind tonight, first of all. And we are so thankful, Leah. Thank you for being with us tonight.
You're so welcome.
And so Leah debuted as a sales director in November of 2006, almost 1 year after joining the company. So as soon as she joined the company, 1 year after she became a sales director, she set a record in her national area at that time to debut as the youngest sales director in her national area at just 21 years old. Leah has earned eight Mary Kay free cars, her current car being the newest pink Cadillac Escalade Hybrid. Her highest commission check in 1 month, not including her personal sales. Like, you might want to take a deep breath so you don't panic when you hear this number. It's been over $48,000 in 1 month. 1 month. Can you imagine like waking up and looking at your, like good morning. By the age of 30, Leah became one of the youngest Mary Kay millionaires, earning over $1 million in commissions. Thanks to Mary Kay, Leah and her husband have enjoyed five-star trips to Bahamas, Greece, Turkey, Monaco, France, Italy, Japan, China, Maui, and London. And recently she just went somewhere else. Awesome. I don't know where the other one was, but where did they go? New Zealand. Yeah, they go all over the place. Leah has been gifted with over $800,000 in free travel from this amazing opportunity. In her last year as a sales director, Leah led her personal unit to the 900,000 Circle of Excellence, ranking in the top 10 in the entire nation. Leah is a 2-time triple star achiever, achieving the National Court of Sales 3 times and the National Court of Recruiting twice. Leah and her amazing group of directors wrapped up the qualifications to become their own national area on January 1st, 2013. Their area name is I'm Possible, the I'm Possible area, after the Audrey Hepburn quote, "Nothing is impossible, the word itself says I'm possible." Leah is proud of her 3 offspring national sales directors, Crystal, Lily, and Brittany. And Leah has 2 biggest Mary Kay accomplishments so far, Leah's 2 biggest Mary Kay accomplishments so far was in December of 2009 when she officially retired her then 29-year-old husband Cody from corporate America, and when she brought both her 3-year-old son Lincoln and her 11-month-old daughter Kennedy home in pink Cadillacs. Please welcome, all the way from Fort Worth, Texas, Executive National Sales Director Leah Carta.
I'm so excited to be here. First of all, thank you, Anna, for having me tonight.
I'm going to turn you up really quick.
Okay,
Sorry.
perfect.
Okay. Oops.
By the way, I loved your cute belly on Facebook.
Thank you. It's out there. I don't know why this will go. Okay. Why isn't it going up? Shoot. Ugh. Okay.
Have you changed your settings to your input from your computer under your laptop?
No. I thought it would play on the TV, but
You have to change the setting.
this one? Oh, sorry, Leah. 1 second.
Oh wait, I have a MacBook, so it might be different.
Let me just check the settings here.
On ours, you have to go into the sound settings and change the input output.
Oh. Okay.
My system.
1 minute.
Oh yeah.
Devices. Maybe. Yep. You know what I could do is connect my.
Can you hear me? Testing. Oh, wait. Okay, it's better, Anna. You're not frozen. Okay, good. Yay. Gotta love technology. Okay, so hopefully we won't have a tornado siren go off. That happened to me a few weeks ago, and I had to end the hangout early because we had to go get in our tornado shelter. It was so ridiculous. But anyway, I am so excited to be here tonight. It is 9:30 at night in Texas, and when Anna asked me, I didn't hesitate. I was like, who needs sleep when there's an anchor unit? Of course I want to share with the anchor unit. So thank you, Anna, for having me. And I see some familiar faces. I saw Dawn somewhere. There's Dawn. I saw Kelsey. I saw a couple people. So anyway, and Anna's beautiful belly. So we're excited for you, Anna. But I want to first of all congratulate the Anchor unit because you guys are on target to finish your very first ever unit club. And I know for some of you that might not mean anything right now, but it's a really, really big deal. When you go to seminar, your unit will be recognized as a unit club unit. And Anna is one of the fastest in our entire national area family to achieve this in what's, I think, her second year as a sales director, second full year. And so I am just an extremely proud mama moment that I'm having as I see Anna finishing this, and just with all the excitement of the wedding and now having this beautiful baby. I'm claiming that it's a girl. I know we don't know yet, but I keep wanting to call the baby a baby girl, so we'll see. But anyway, and so we're just excited, such a great time. And so I want you to know before we get into tonight's training that anything you do this month, it matters. And you know, that's the great thing about Mary Kay is that it's kind of full circle for everyone. So yes, it totally helps the unit goals, but it also puts money in your pocket, and it also helps you build your business. You know, everything is tied together in Mary Kay. When Anna was a consultant in my unit, I was wrapping up my biggest year ever. We were finishing 900,000, and Anna was a critical piece of that finish. And her being a critical piece of that finish actually propelled her to get into DIQ and become a sales director. And so, you know, and we didn't know at that time that it's completely gone full circle now, but at that time, you know, Anna was going to be a single mom, and she really needed that Mary Kay income to support her. So anyway, you just never know. And so it's such a great time to work your business. You know, one of my favorite quotes right now that I find myself saying over and over and over again is the greatest threat to your success is the word tomorrow. The greatest threat to your success is the word tomorrow. I actually have this plastered like everywhere in my house because yes, even me as a national sales director, sometimes it's so easy. My little girl's been teething, and you know, my son was an easy teether, and she is just wanting her mama all the time. And so I found myself in a position many times where it's easy to say, you know what, I'll make those booking calls tomorrow. I'll send out those handwritten cards tomorrow. I'll check in with so-and-so tomorrow. And you know what? Tomorrow usually never happens because it's something else. And so when you create this habit of putting things off, that becomes your norm and it becomes your lifestyle. And so I'm going to talk about recruiting tonight, but my big BFO, blind flash of the obvious message that I want to get to you tonight is to stop putting things off. And not just in Mary Kay, but you know, for many of us, including myself, working out. This last week, I have been super consistent with my workout because it was so easy to be like, you know what? We have a busy day tomorrow. It's just not going to fit into my schedule. And I was making excuses. Tomorrow. It is the biggest threat to your success. The other thing that I found in this business is that for every excuse we dole out, so for every excuse like, oh, well, I'm pregnant, or I just had a baby, or my husband works crazy hours, for every excuse that you have, there is someone in the Mary Kay world that is making it happen with the same excuse, but they're making it happen. And I'm not even talking making it happen. They're like dominating it and crushing it. And so who are we to let our excuses get in the way of huge, audacious goals? You know, many of you have heard me talk about this before, but the most common question that people ask me is, Leah, what is your schedule? I'd love to have a sample schedule so that I too could be successful. And the success is not in the schedule. The success is in the until it's done mindset. That's my schedule, until it's done. You guys, when I'm done with this tonight, I'm going to go back inside and I'm not going to bed. I have more work to do because I didn't get it finished today. And tomorrow is my greatest enemy. So the word tomorrow. So it will get done tonight. So until it's done. Do I always feel like it? No, but I know that my dreams, the vision for my family's life, and the vision for the lives of the women that I haven't even met yet, those trump any excuse that I could ever have. So before I get into this, I pulled up my reports because as I was planning for seminar, I had noticed a few days ago that the anchor unit was killing it with seminar attendance. And so I want to congratulate you. I know we've got Dawn going, we've got Brittany going, Kelsey's going, Amanda's going, of course, Anna is going, and Nicole Richter is going. And so I am so excited, you guys. The last day to register is June 30th. And you guys, if you have any sort of dream in your heart that you would love for Mary Kay to be the thing for you, the thing that helps you quit your job, the thing that pays down your debt, whatever it is, the question that you should not be asking yourself is, how can I afford to go to seminar? The question should be, what is seminar worth to me? I know Anna posted my message a few weeks ago in your Facebook group. If you haven't heard it, she can bump it back up so you guys can hear it. But I'm going to encourage you to listen to that. Because of that first seminar, my life was forever changed, you guys, forever changed. That was the thing that allowed me to see the bigger picture of what was available to me in what I call the Mary Kay buffet. Because sometimes all you know is Anna. And not that that's bad at all. That's like the perfect example. But sometimes we can play kind of tricks on ourselves. And so here's a perfect example of what some of you might say in your unit. Well, I could never do a facial like Anna does. I mean, just look at her makeup. I say that sometimes. I could never do that. And, or, well, Anna's just so experienced and so put together. And so therefore I could never do this. And so anyway, my point is that all of us, including Anna, at times tell ourselves these horrible stories that are so untrue. And so one of the things that I love about seminar is that when you go, it opens your eyes to other people that are just like you. And I know that Anna will tell you that her first seminar was critical timing. Critical timing. If you know her story, when she got back from seminar was when she found out she was pregnant with Grayson, and Mary Kay became her plan B that she didn't know that she needed to have. I forever tell that story because it's such a powerful example of what happens when you allow yourself to see that bigger vision, how it could really drastically change your life. And so I'm just going to encourage you to go. You guys, you're a make a way, find a way woman, and your first priority is just getting registered. Then you worry about the flight. You don't even have to worry about the hotel until after you go. But you don't want to miss it. Trust me, you do not want to miss it. Okay, so let's go ahead and move into our training tonight. And I want to tell you, I'm going to talk about 5 steps to becoming a powerful recruiter, because what I know is that in order to drive a free car in Mary Kay, in order to promote yourself to the position of sales director, in order to wear the red jacket, you have to have people on your team. You have to have people on your team. And I remember when I came into Mary Kay, I was so nervous to recruit. The first reason was I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to impose on people. I didn't want to seem pushy. I didn't want to seem like it was going to ruin our friendship. I had all these things going through my head. I'm so sure some of you can totally relate, right? That was the first reason. The second reason, and it kills me that I'm thinking this now because I know what I know now, but the second reason was I was worried, I don't want to recruit my customers. I'm going to lose money. That was an honest to goodness thought that I have, and I'm embarrassed to admit it, but it was. So I'm just going to be truthful. So let me touch on that really quick, because in my brain as a consultant, I was going, well, I make 50% when I sell her the product. And if I recruit her, I only make 4%. So why in the world would I want to do that? That was my brain. So the sad thing is first of all, at that time, Mary Kay was not yet in my heart. So I was very selfish. I was very selfish when I started. And that cost me, you guys. It did. One of my very first team members, who probably would have gone on to do huge things in Mary Kay, quit Mary Kay essentially because of your national selfishness. I'm just being really honest, because I made it about me. It was always about me. I was worried that she would move up before me and go into DIQ before me. It was me. I'm embarrassed to tell you that. But I also was 20 years old and I was growing up a little bit. So there you go. But anyway, my point is that when we make it about us, it's one of the most selfish things that we can do. I mean, what if this person really ends up needing Mary Kay as a plan B? The other thing that I didn't realize was the exponential value in team building. So most of my first line sales directors are my personal recruits. Anna was a personal recruit of mine. Stephanie Coker is a personal recruit of mine. Lily Gotro is a personal recruit of mine. National Sales Director Brittany Capps is a personal recruit of mine. And for many years, these women have sold a lot of product. In fact, for the last 4 or 5 years, Stephanie Coker has done the National Court of Sales every single year. Well, you guys, forever, no matter what position I have in Mary Kay, in addition to how I get paid, Mary Kay always pays me an extra 13% on my personal team. Always. So let me just tell you Stephanie Coker, just for curiosity. Let me add this up for you so you can see. One moment. Okay, so here's a perfect example, okay? Actually, I forgot that I get another percentage now that I'm a national, so let me just add this up for you. Okay, so let's say that Stephanie Coker remained a customer of mine. When I think about my good customers, the ones that order a lot, I would say on the high end, there's customers that I sell $1,000 a year to. Okay, so my profit is $500 a year. Awesome, maybe a little bit more, but let's just say 1,000 is a good number, right? Y'all would be excited about that, right? To have a customer that reorders $1,000 a year. Okay, so last year, from Stephanie Coker being my team member, just on Stephanie Coker, I made $4,140. Now I know for sure I don't have any customers, unfortunately, that are buying $8,000 worth of Mary Kay products right now. That would be awesome. If any of you do, we need you to do the next training. But do you get my point? When you multiply that by so many people over the years, like that totally adds up, totally adds up. You know, I tell the sales directors this story, but I want to share it with you guys because I think it's so evident of how powerful team building is in Mary Kay. So I had just become a top sales director in Mary Kay, and at that point, I was making a 6-figure income, and my unit that year had done $650,000 in sales. $650,000 in sales, and a month after we finished that, I was in a really bad car accident. I was actually hit by a drunk driver. She was going 60 miles an hour and like totaled my car. And for the first time, like I was bedridden. Like I could not move. I had to work differently. I was someone that was always holding appointments. This was before Google Hangouts, so I couldn't do like a virtual makeover or anything like that. And I got really depressed because I couldn't work for 3 months because I didn't know how else to work. And so my unit club that year, we went from 650 and we dropped to 450,000, right? 450,000. So we went down $200,000 in sales. When I got my commission check, my 1099 for that year of all the commission checks, my income had stayed the exact same that it was the year prior, even though we had dropped $200,000 less. The reason why? Because I had recruits that were doing amazing things and they were having their best year. So I also say that recruiting is like your insurance. It's like your insurance. And you know, I have some people on my team who I can think of that do Mary Kay very, very part-time, but they recruited someone who went on to be super powerful. You know, let's think about this. My senior director actually has an illness. And so she's had this illness for like 15 years. She can't go out. She can't really work. But because she recruited my senior and I'm in that line, she gets paid about $4,000 a month from that one person. And what that one person did. Insurance. So you never know. You could recruit someone that's absolutely does amazing things in Mary Kay. Okay, so let's talk about the 5 steps. So before we talk about the how, I do want to talk a little bit about the why we recruit. The first reason, of course, is that Mary Kay asked us to. Mary Kay asked us to. She said, above anything else, pass it on. You know, if I could take you back to 1960-ish, when Mary Kay first had this crazy idea in her head that she wanted to change women's lives. She was tired. This was at a time where, you know, women didn't work, and if they did, they were absolutely, they didn't get paid as much as men. They didn't have the choices, you know, that we have today. And so she was really a pioneer, and she wanted to create a company that would support, empower, and enrich women's lives. And so she wrote it all out on paper. She didn't even know what they were going to sell. So it wasn't like Mary Kay was this lady that was passionate about makeup and skincare. She wrote the business plan before she picked the product. So let's be clear, okay? And so she had this dream, and so she created it. And the one thing was that she wanted women to all have this option and for us to pass it on. And you want to have a balance. You want to have a balance of selling the product, but also recruiting a team. There's a few things that I think that recruiting a team does. I think it helps with the belief in this business because you see them having wins, and it reminds you that you did that once too, and it encourages you to keep going. Okay, so let's move on to the 5 steps. The 5 steps to becoming a powerful recruiter. The first step is belief. Belief. Anna actually said this, and I quote it all the time. She said, "You aren't selling because you're not sold. You aren't selling because you're not sold." And it's one of my favorite things that anyone has ever said because it's so true. It's so true. If you're not completely sold out on what you're doing and you're questioning it, why in the world would anyone join your team? Why in the world would anyone join your team? And so there have been times, you guys, there have been times where I had a bad party or maybe I had a bad experience with a team member, and I remember going, oh my gosh, is this really what I want to do? And so I would get back to like reading the biography. Like if you have not read Mary Kay's biography yet, you are crazy. It's such a good book and it's a really quick read. But reading the biography, listening to the I stories of the women that were super successful in Mary Kay, and getting that belief back, and being also familiar with the emotional cycle in Mary Kay. It is a real thing. I don't have time to cover it tonight, but Anna can totally post it in the Anchor Unit page. But it really is the emotional cycle of any business. It wouldn't matter if you own a hamburger stand or you're a Mary Kay business owner. There's an emotional cycle that an entrepreneur goes through, and most of us are used to working 9-to-5 jobs, and so we're adapting and learning this whole entrepreneurial hustle thing, and it can be kind of taxing on our emotions, okay? Another side thing that I've started to add to this is to know when your day 16 is. Know when your day 16 is. Now, for all of you, it's not necessarily going to be your day 16, but you guys know what I'm talking about. There's a day that comes every month for most of us where we are just like down in the dumps. We're grumpy. We eat a lot. We are just like, I don't even know if like life is worth it. I mean, it's just like we get so dramatic. Do you know what I mean? Like, does anyone ever have a day? That would be your day 16, okay? You need to track it. You need to track it in your date book, because ever since I started doing this, because yes, Leah Carta has a day once a month. It's actually day 18 for me. Once a month where I'm like, I don't know if I want to be a national sales director. Everyone's mean. Like, I'm just like so dramatic. But now that I know, I can look at my calendar and be like, Leah, get over yourself. It's your day 18. Move on, okay? And so I can think logically about it. And so I'm going to encourage you to do the same thing, because as women, we are crazy. If you're pregnant, it's every day. So you just have to be aware of that. Okay. I'm just teasing you, Anna, but for me, that was true. Okay, so the other thing too is that with the belief in this business, remember that we're not selling starter kits. That is like the worst thing that I see sometimes that people do at parties, is they'll go, here's our miracle set, it's $100 or whatever dollars, but if you want a better value, buy the starter kit. Like, that is the last thing you want to do. I never at parties give people those options. I really believe in the process of layering. So I absolutely share the marketing plan at my parties. 100%. If you're not doing that, you're missing out. And then I have them write the A, B, or C on the back of the card so I know their interests. I sell them the product, and then I'll talk to them a little bit on the spot, or I'll schedule follow-up. Several years ago, I was on a top sales director trip, and all the top directors were in the room, and they had to stand up. They said, if you were recruited on the spot at a party, stand up. One person stood up in a room of like 300. The average was that we had been followed up with 4 to 7 times. We had been layered before we signed. Top directors. So what I mean is, like, we lose, there's that whole saying, there's fortune in the follow-up. We lose that when we don't follow up. So many of you need to go back through your profile cards and just have a humbling conversation and message that girl and say, oh my gosh, Anna, I am so sorry. I spaced. You wrote B a long time ago. And you know what? It just so happens that this week we're giving away a bunch of free Mary Kay products. I would absolutely love for you to watch this quick video, or I'd love to meet with you and my director for coffee. What would work better for you, Tuesday or Thursday? So get pride out of the way. If you have someone that's 6 months old and you see them, you're meant to call them. Like, I am such a believer in that. When someone is presented in front of you, there is a reason and you need to act on it. You have to act on it. Okay, so we're not selling the starter kits. Okay, and then also the law of respect. A lot of this has to do with enlarging the belief in yourself, enlarging the belief in yourself. So just like being an entrepreneur kind of goes through this cycle, these different cycles, so does our confidence. So does our confidence. So I do not believe that for women, like, we reach a level 10 confidence and we stay there. I don't believe that. I believe, oh, I totally missed my spray tan. I'm just noticing that. Or just ignore that. Sorry. I'll put my hands behind my back. Okay. So, see, confidence. I don't have confidence in my spray tan. Okay. But anyway, so we reach this point as women where, you know, something happens that brings us down to an 8. So even these women that are super confident, there are days or situations that take them down different notches of confidence levels. And so what I'm getting at is that your confidence is a daily, like, it's like conditioning a muscle. Like, when you physically exercise, you have to exercise your confidence. And so how you enlarge that belief in yourself and you build that confidence is little wins. If you are standing still, you are going backwards. You know, I had a consultant in my unit. She messaged me this last week. And it was a very familiar message because she messages it to me about every 3 months. And it's all about how something has changed now. And she's ready to become a director. And, you know, for some reason this time, I think because it was like the 4th year in a row that this has happened every 3 months, I said, you know what? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I love you, but I don't believe you. So we need to start by building your confidence first. And so I said, before you can even begin talking about DIQ, I want you to have a $300 sales week, because she hadn't even been a star consultant. And I said, it's not that you can't go into DIQ July 1st, but we have to start having these wins so that you know that you can do it. Because if you're going from 0 to DIQ, there's got to be some wins in there. So guess what? She sold 250 this week. And so she's like, now I'm ready for DIQ. And I said, no, you're not. We need to sell 300 this week. And we need to do 3 sharing appointments, because I can't tell you the last time that we did 3 sharing appointments. Once she does that, then she's going to be ready for the next step. So that's how you build your confidence, by having those little wins. Then also having a vision for what you really want, Gosh, you know, it irritates me being a national sometimes. Do you know why? Because those of you that are new, you come in and you hear my accolades and you just think that it's always been like that. And it hasn't. You know, when I came into Mary Kay, I was the girl going to Starbucks, and it was like going to Las Vegas. I would put my card through and be like, come on, approved, yay. You know, I can get Starbucks today. And that was my life. I had so much debt. I mean, I remember a week that Cody and I couldn't buy groceries, and we lived off of this, like, the only thing we had in our pantry was this huge bag of croutons from Sam's Club. And so we divvied off the croutons for a week. I mean, it was bad. And so I can remember this. And so you guys know that we all start somewhere, but why I did it was because I had a vision. I took my starter kit and I was like, you know what? I want something different for my children than what I grew up in. I had a vision of where they would live, and it wasn't going to be some fancy gold-plated mansion. I wanted a place where we were safe, a place that we could create memories. I wanted choices. You guys, tomorrow morning, if you are friends with me on Facebook, or you can follow me on Instagram, my family is making one of the biggest announcements that we have ever made. I am not pregnant. That's not the announcement. But it has something to do with my husband's business, and it's not a Buffalo Ranch. Just some of you know that story. It's not that. But to see that happening, you guys, and to know that my Mary Kay business, the money we've earned from Mary Kay, is making that possible, it blows my mind to know that we both will be entrepreneurial parents that our children will be raised with. And so, you know, for some of you, maybe your spouse is really good at something. You know, maybe he's really good at construction, and you doing your Mary Kay business would allow him to go pursue his own construction company. Or maybe he loves cooking and this would allow him to pursue a career as a chef. I mean, who knows? I mean, you've got to dream big like that. You've got to dream big like that, because one day it's those crazy dreamers like me, the people that are crazy, they're the ones that end up making it happen because they saw it. They saw it and they breathed it and they lived it and they worked through those possibilities. Okay, being aware of the people in your arena. You guys, I am so guarded on who is in my space and who speaks into my life, and I'm going to encourage you to do the same. Some of you have relationships that you've got to cut off. You've got to cut it off. Now, I understand for some of you, you can't like cut off your husband if that's the person, but you know, there are people that you can. You know, maybe you have a mom who's super not positive. You guys, I love relationships with my mom. I lost my mom. I would do anything to have that back, but I also know that some of you have moms that like just speak down on your life. And so you might need to take a break from that. You might need to keep yourself busy so that you're not putting yourself in that position. You know, you might have friends that you just need to dump. You know, if they're not supporting you, if they're not encouraging you, then why are they your friends? Like, why? Mary Kay has the best people. Get friends in Mary Kay. Okay. And then knowing your why, of course, knowing your why. Okay. The second thing of the 5 steps to becoming a powerful recruiter is boldness. Boldness. What would happen if you weren't afraid? What would happen if you weren't afraid? And you know what? I don't even think that for most of us, it's fear of failure, because we know that's part of the process, right? You've heard your director say, it's all the numbers, you'll recruit 1 in 4. So that means 3 people will tell you no. So I feel like we all know this. I almost think it's a fear of success. I almost think that sometimes we're afraid of how powerful we actually really are. And it scares us because we don't know, you know, how we'll be in that setting of successful people or whatever. You know, I remember when I became a national sales director, and many of you don't know what that is if you're brand new, but it's the highest position in Mary Kay. And to be honest, I fell into like a severe depression for like a month. And it wasn't because it was like a bad thing or I wasn't excited. It was because I was struggling with my self-worth. Because of things that people had told me, I had really bought in, people outside of Mary Kay, I had really bought into, you know, you're different, Leah. You're not polished enough to be a national. Even stupid things like you shop at Walmart still, you know, like just dumb things, okay? And I would tell myself that. And so it was because of success. It was because of success. And I got over that real fast. But anyway, so that is my point, is that our greatest fear is usually our own success. So what would happen if you weren't afraid? And all it takes is 20 seconds of insane courage. One of my directors taught me this several years ago. She said, I just did it because I just needed 20 seconds of insane courage. And you guys, we could equate that to so many things. 20 seconds of insane courage is that kamikaze jump into a cold swimming pool. You know, that takes courage. You know, it's pushing through that workout. That was me this morning. I was doing some crazy Pilates leg lift, and I'm like crying and screaming, and I don't curse, so I was making up words, and it was not pretty. And that took 20 seconds of courage to finish those reps out when my body was telling me to stop, but I had to keep going. So you just need a little bit of courage. And then I love this, the ones that scare you are the ones who need it the most. So those girls that intimidate the heck out of you, those are the ones that need Mary Kay the most. You know why? Because they're sharp. They know what they want in their life. And let's not get pretty and sharp confused. There are a lot of pretty people in the world that are not sharp. So let's just be clear. We're not looking for like cute Instagram models. We're looking for women that are motivated. Okay, women that hustle. Women that are, what's that hashtag boss babes or whatever you want to call them. Like that's who we want, okay? So those motivated women. I don't care how pretty they are. I just want motivated. Okay, and then number 3, let me get a drink. Do you guys drink these? These are like my favorite thing in the world. I just want you to know that it's not like a beer. So I just want to be clear. Oh, it's so good. The LaCroix. Do you guys have these in California?
Yeah, we do.
We get?
It's sparkling water. It's amazing, but it's flavored. They have like coconut and lime. Okay. All right. Is this helping you guys? Are you guys getting stuff out of this?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So number 3, and this is the best. Practice makes permanent. Practice makes permanent. Practice does never make perfect, okay? I will never be perfect. To this day, I could watch Kelsey do a skincare class, and I'm going to guarantee I'm going to learn something, okay? Practice makes permanent. It's just the habit of doing. And so, knowing the marketing plan and knowing how to present it. Anna is an amazing sales director because we did all those marketing plans together. Okay, that component of her business. Okay, I didn't teach her makeup application. I will be honest about that. She's taught me. But I will tell you, though, her recruiting skills came from us sitting at a Starbucks and her listening over and over and over again. You guys, Anna did not become a sales director by sending someone a YouTube link. She did not become a sales director by calling me and saying, hey, I have 5 sharing appointments booked on my own. I don't need you, whatever. She never did that. Now, there are going to be some circumstances where you're ready, and Anna will say, girl, you've got this. You've got this share. But for many of you that are just starting out, it's just your practice. And to be honest, it's so silly that you're not taking advantage of it because there's going to come a point where you can't use that line anymore. Like, I love Anna, but she cannot. She cannot go to her party and be like, you're really motivated and I need to practice with my national sales director for my training. Would you be able to do a sharing appointment with us on Tuesday? She would call me and I'd be like, no, I am not doing a sharing appointment for you, Anna. So take advantage of that while you can, you guys. You're able to utilize her skills, her talents. It makes sense and it's absolutely genius, okay? So what would you say if I told you that no 2 sharing appointments are the same? And this is the other reason why you want to see Anna do them, is that you're going to see her overcome objections. You're going to see her, find out what someone's need is and then how Mary Kay can fill it. Like, it's honestly the best learning opportunity. And so my challenge to you guys, I still have 2 more points, but my challenge to you is that by tomorrow at noon, I literally want you to book at least 2 sharing appointments with Anna. I want you to pick 2 people that you've already facialed, because that's important that they've had that layer, but that you've just been too chicken to reach out to. And don't even check, don't check with Anna on the availability. Don't check with her. Just pick, find out, I would call Amanda and I would say, hey, Amanda, I'm in this challenge this week with my national area. I need to do 2 practice interviews with my sales director. Would you be what's the word I'm looking for? Would you be available on a Thursday night or Friday afternoon? Give Anna 2 dates to work with, okay? And then she'll make one work. We lose too much time when we're trying to find out Anna's schedule and your schedule, so just pick 2 times. Anna will most likely be able to make one work, okay? All right, so let's see here. So practice makes permanent, so I told you that. Okay, number 4, objections are a game. Objections are a game. They're a game. They're nothing to be afraid of. And challenge is fun. I get so excited when someone tells me oh, I can't do Mary Kay because I'm not salesy. My body language changes. And I'm waiting for them to stop talking. I'm like, that's awesome. I'm so thankful that you're not a salesperson because that is the last thing I would want to come into Mary Kay. Because in Mary Kay, we're about people and making them feel important. And if you're salesy, we don't get to do that. So this is awesome. I don't even have to retrain you. So now tell me what's holding you back. That's exactly what I do. And so you guys, you learn this by doing this with Anna. Anna would already do that, I'm going to tell you, because she saw me do it before, okay? And it's not a tactic, it's genuine. It's just helping them see, why they can do this, Okay, and then also the thing I want to tell you too is that don't lose contact with the people that say no. No means not right now. I mean, how many of us have had sharing appointments? I actually had 2 this weekend where they both were an 8. And so now I'm on my 2nd or 3rd layer with them. And oftentimes I'll see consultants, as soon as that 2nd sharing appointment is done, they'll drop them like a hot potato. And it's horrible because number 1, they're not servicing them as a customer. And number 2, you take away from the layering. The layering, you guys, she didn't mean no, she meant not right now. If she meant no, she would tell you -1. When we ask on a scale of 1 to 10, she would say -1. If they say that, that means really no, okay? But most people say a 6 or a 7, and that's above the 5 line. That means that they were leaning towards it, and so we need to keep in contact with them. And also, I love adding those people on Facebook. And if you are Facebook friends with me or Instagram friends with me, you'll notice that I hardly ever post about Mary Kay. I post about my life, so it's a reflection of what Mary Kay has done for my life. It's almost like I'm shouting from the rooftops without saying anything. Have you ever noticed that about my Facebook? I don't blast sales. And the reason why I don't do that is that I don't want someone to be like, oh, hide. That's spammy. You guys, because I'm the person that does that. If someone adds me one more time to one of those leggings with the pizza prints on them, I'm gonna like be real, like have it come apart, okay? Like that annoys me, okay? And the wrap things, like people just add me to groups and it's so spammy. And so I never want Mary Kay to look like that. I want people to be intrigued by, gosh, I have no idea really what Leah does with Mary Kay, but gosh, I see her, it's a Tuesday morning and she's at the movies with her son. How is she able to do that? Let me ask her questions. You guys would be shocked. If you could go into my Facebook Messenger, you would be shocked at how many people contact me just by, hey, I saw your Facebook post and it looks like you're really flexible during the week. Tell me more about what you do. It happens more than you think, okay? All right. So back to objections are a game. So challenge is fun, overcoming recruiting objections, we talked about that, and then always turning negatives into a positive, and also, you know, having them learn from someone else's perspective. You guys, there's oftentimes that part of my layering process is that I need them to hear someone else's story besides mine. You know, if they're a military wife, I have them hear Jocelyn Pond's story because she did this through a deployment, you know, and they can't relate to her, I can't relate to them, and so that they can relate to her, and so having them hear her story. And then the last thing, number 5, is because it's the right thing to do. So why do you recruit? Because it's the right thing to do. Because someone needs something other than their alternative, and because Mary Kay asked us to. Because someone needs something other than their alternative, because Mary Kay asks us to. So my really good friend, National Sales Director Ari Hathaway, and I, it was several years ago, we were sitting in a hotel room, and there was like a couple of girls in there. We were all kind of chatting like a slumber party. And Ari said, Leah, what motivates you? And I said, the alternative. And she's like, me too. I've never heard anyone say that. That's so awesome. And we both said the alternative motivated us. And I look at how much Mary Kay has changed my life and how much has changed Anna's life and all of the directors in our area and in our national family of you know, the Love area, the Missionary, the Bliss area. And it's, sometimes I have to pinch myself because for some of us, it's been huge, drastic changes. But others of us, it's been just small, like, you know, maybe being able to live on their own after a divorce, or to, you know, pay down their student loan debt or whatever. But even if it's small, it's still significant. It's further along the road than they would have been at their other job. And so even if it's not your destiny in Mary Kay to do quote unquote great things, you could be the vehicle for someone else to be able to do that. So again, my challenge to you, and I didn't ask Anna if this was okay. She's probably like, Leah, you're killing my date book. But two sharing appointments, you guys, this week between Tuesday and Friday. Don't ask Anna her schedule. Just pick 2 times, and she'll most likely be able to make one work, or I can fill in. We'll figure it out. With the 2 women that you've been avoiding, and all of us have that, you guys, and if they haven't tried the product yet, get a facial going first. That is the most awkward thing when you do a sharing appointment and then the girl says, oh, but I haven't even tried the product. They need to try the product. That way they know that it's a legitimate thing and that we don't like sell something weird. So Anna, do you want me to do questions? Do you want me to sing? Tell me what you'd like me to do.
I think questions would be awesome. Why don't you guys ask her any questions that you guys have, or it can be about anything too. I mean, mostly pertaining to tonight, but is there any questions anybody has? We have our national brain to fix. So we need to pick it. Question? So that's my friend. or an aha moment of some things you said tonight?
I like the objections because I get objections a lot of I don't have the time, or not right now, or I'll get back to you. I get that one a lot. I'll get back to you. So what do I do with that?
When they say, I'll get back to you. So is this after you've asked them to do a share with Anna? Like, give me the context.
There's that one, and then there's also, I'll get back to you when I've asked them to sit down and do a facial with me, after they've already given me their number.
Okay, so they've given you their number, and they say an 8, and then they say, I'll get back to you. So I would just be proactive, and I would say, okay, awesome, I don't want to miss your call. When should I expect to hear from you? And grab your date book.
That's good. Anybody else?
I don't know. Like with the people who you share more than once with, but they said no at the appointment, like touch back with them because you just need to keep layering them. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That would help hot potatoes. That needs more. Yeah.
sometimes it's your own success. And this kind of drives me nuts a little bit, but I would have people, that it wasn't until I earned my car. Like I remember when I earned the first car I earned, I had so many people join my team that were in my life because it's like they had to see it to believe it, So that's the other thing too, is that by you pressing forward and, fulfilling your dreams, people start coming around because it's almost like you've created that proof of concept for them, even though Mary Kay in itself is a proof of concept. They just need to see someone they know do it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Amanda has a question.
So I've actually changed it up to get in front of them again of when I do their facial and they say B. I say, okay, great, so let's go ahead and book your makeover and we'll talk some more then. Well, I'm having a handful just not show up and not communicating back with me. So I don't know if I should go to the way of, okay, well, maybe they weren't meant to be in my life and I should just move forward, or if I should continue reaching out to them and maybe just in a different way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it sounds like you need to make your makeover a little bit more exclusive. So like, I'll give you an example. I had a party on Friday and there was 4 or 5 girls there. And so there's 5 and only 4 bought from me. And so the 4 that brought from me during the session, I made a big deal about, and one of the perks of being a Mary Kay customer is that you get a free makeover consultation, which is perfect just in time for summer. We'll match your foundation and natural light. We'll go over eyeshadows. We'll go over contouring. And you guys, by the way, if those words scare you, like it did me, I just watch Anna's video. Like Anna doesn't know this, but she's in my bathroom with me every morning. And it's been probably like 6 months of watching her and we're still doing it. So, but that's how I'm going to get good. Cause I'm not as gifted yet as Anna is in the makeup department. One day Anna's going to be asking me to do her makeup. I know this. But anyway, so does that make sense? So it sounds like you just need to make your makeover more exclusive. So it's almost like they make that a priority, so I talk about that. I talk about them. If I really like them, I'll be like, okay, let's go ahead and schedule your appointment. And something else I say, Amanda, and you've probably heard me say this before, but let's say Anna scheduled her makeover appointment for Tuesday. So I write it down in my date book and I say, okay, Anna, I'm so looking forward to Tuesday. And one of the things that you need to know about me is that I am super reliable. So I am not a flaky person. And unless there is death, or when I was pregnant, I would say, or I'm about to have this baby, you can count on me, rain or shine. And in Texas, I say tornado or no tornado, I will be there. And I just want to thank you in advance, Anna, for doing the same.
Okay.
And I totally say that because I'm a professional woman, and if there's I think about my hairdresser, and if I flake on him, there's like a $200 charge. He charges me anyway because he's so in demand. And so, think about how you want to brand yourself. You want to be in demand. And so, and that comes with confidence too, being able to be bold like that, to say that, but it's not in a snotty way. It's letting her know that you're serious about your business.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Questions? Kelsey has an aha for you.
Oh, if you're standing still, you're going backwards like that one.
Yes.
And then I had a quick question. I wanted to ask what hostess program do you use now? There's something changes, but I wanted to see your hostess
It's the same one I've always used. It's the same one I've always used where I just do, what do I do? 1/2 off item for every person there, and then 10% of the sales in free products.
Okay.
Perfect. Anything else?
My aha was practice makes permanent.
There you are. Practice makes permanent.
Because I feel like when I was a Red Jacket, everything was going forward, but then I backed off some because I got in my happy place, and now I just feel like I'm starting and stopping and starting and stopping. So I need to get into a actual routine.
And you guys, Mary Kay is no different than a workout regimen. I remember a season in my life before I had Kennedy, and I had lost a bunch of weight, and I was hardcore going to bar classes. I don't know if you guys have them there yet, but it's like a Pilates with a ballet bar, and it's intense. But my body had become addicted to it, and I was going 5 days a week, and it was amazing, and I had no issue going. And then as soon as I had Kennedy, well, let's just say it's now 11 months and I'm getting into a consistent workout program now because it's hard. It's hard to get started once you've stopped. But once you see results and it's worth it. You feel the burn, but it's worth it. And sometimes it just is a matter of you getting back into your groove, especially if you haven't been consistently holding parties. And that's why consistency is king in Mary Kay. I mean, when I look back over my years as a beauty consultant to sales director, the one thing I did consistent was I always held 3 to 5 parties a week. And I mean, that was consistent. Like if I knew I was going to be on vacation the following week, I doubled the parties the week before. And that was true for me, 3 to 5 parties every single week, my entire Mary Kay career until I became a national.
I love that. Thank you.
20 seconds of courage.
Oh, the 20 seconds of insane courage. That was awesome. Thank you. That was good. Yeah.
My aha moment was practice doesn't make perfect, it makes permanent. Where my 9-year-old is now telling me that. Come on, Mom, practice doesn't make perfect, it makes permanent. So go upstairs, you're making your booking calls. My 9-year-old's coming to me.
That's cool.
And I think we have to release ourselves from that perfect word. Something that I'm really passionate about right now is I have like a love-hate relationship with social media. Because I also think it puts a lot of pressure. It makes us put unnecessary pressure on ourselves. So like an example that I'll give you is, Anna sees me have like this amazing Pinterest birthday for Kennedy with all these handmade decorations. I made the cake from scratch and I sewed her tutu together and all this stuff. And so, Anna's about to have a birthday party and she was just going to buy decorations from the dollar store, and all of a sudden Anna's now like, oh my gosh, like, I'm a bad mom for not doing the things on Pinterest. And so the whole view of that we're supposed to celebrate our child's life is so distorted now, and it's about, how it looks. And so that's my point, though, is that we live in this world where we are imperfect, and we're so pressured to be this thing that we're not. And so that's something that's important to know in your business, is that you're never going to reach even close to a capacity of perfect. Because I know that I have not. I mean, there are times that I mess up a party or I mess up with a customer, I forget to mail a it's never going to be perfect. And so you have to take that pressure off yourself.
Yeah, that's good. That's very true. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, Leah, for your time tonight. We so appreciate you.
You're welcome.
And those of us coming to Dallas will get to see you super soon. So
yes, I'm so excited. It's going to be fun. So get registered, those of you that are not registered, because you just need to go. You just need to go. You need to go. You need to go.
Yes. And I love your braid, by the way. It's really cute.
Oh, yeah. I've been watching YouTube videos.
I'm comparing my braid to you, just like social media.
Mine is a Dutch braid. And it's like all the way, I found this girl and she has a YouTube channel. So I do makeup with Anna and I do braids with this other girl.
You're watching people every morning. That's awesome, but you're learning. I love it.
I got to learn some hairstyles for this really long. I mean, I was starting to look Amish if I didn't do something. So.
Thank you, Leah.
All right, night, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.